Hi everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to Tailor-Made Cards for You. Well, today I'm going to share with you a card I created using set 1 of the Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz Inventor stamp set. And I'm going to be working with the light bulb stamp today. Now, the idea I had for this card was to create an idea card. After all, whenever we do see a light bulb, typically a lot of times in cartoons we see the flashing of idea associated with a light bulb. So I thought that might be fun to create a card using that theme. Now for the background of my card, I am working with a stamp from Carabelle Studios, and this is a background stamp that has all sorts of letters and numbers, and it really does create a great background. The ink that I'm using to create my background is Distress ink, and this is the Ground Espresso. And I'm also using my Misty stamping platform to make sure I get a nice crisp impression. Now the cardstock that I'm using already had this fantastic shade of yellow in grunge, so I really didn't have to ink up my light bulb. I'm not really sure what paper stack it came from because it was just part of my paper stash, but I was really fortunate to be able to find this, and when I did see the paper I knew it would be perfect for my light bulb card. The black ink that I'm using is Jet Black Archival ink, and again I'm using my Misty stamping platform to stamp down my image. Alright, so once I had a nice crisp image, the idea that I had was to add some foil to the inside of the light bulb to kind of look like electricity. So what I ended up doing is I added some adhesive to the light bulb image, and then I brought in some foil sheets to add the foil to the inside of the light bulb. Now my plan was to fussy cut these light bulbs, so I wasn't really concerned about getting some of the foil on the outside or around the light bulb because I knew I'd be fussy cutting it. Now if you've never worked with foil sheets before, they actually are pretty easy to work with. You basically just have to have some sort of stickiness or some adhesive in order for the foil to grab onto. Now when you're using your foil sheet, you want to make sure that you do place it over your adhesive with the shiny part up. So you want your foil to be facing up, and then you're going to take some sort of rubbing tool, or even your fingers will work fine, and you're going to rub the foil onto the sticky adhesive. So once I had my foil onto my image, I went ahead and took my Tonic scissors and I fussy cut my light bulb. So once I had my images stamped and my foil adhered to my light bulb, it was time to put together my card. So I wanted to make my background just a little bit more, a little bit smaller. So I did end up using a die cut to cut out the background of those letters and those numbers. And then I took some foam tape and I just adhered my light bulb right in the middle. I also took one of my distress crayons to edge the outside of my die cut because I wanted it to just stand out just a little bit from that brown cardstock. Now usually when I am using a distress crayon to edge my cardstock, I am also taking my fingers and I'm rubbing it in just to create a more grunge effect. So you want to make sure you have some sort of wet towel or rag to wipe off your fingers because that distress crayon will end up on your white cardstock if you're not careful. Alright, so once I had my focal points designed and ready to go, it was time to add my idea sentiment. Now the stamp set that I'm using today is from the Tim Holtz collection, and I am using the lowercase letters. If you haven't worked with any of the foam stamps yet, they actually are great for sentiments, and you're able to use them for many different kinds of surfaces. Again, because they are foam, they do absorb a lot of ink, so you can easily stamp on canvas or on material, and of course on cardstock as I'm doing here today. Now I'm using my Misty platform to stamp my sentiment, but of course you don't have to have a Misty platform or any of the stamping platforms to use the foam tapes. You could easily stamp your letters using an acrylic block. So once I had my sentiment lined up, again I am using my stamping platform, and then the ink that I ended up using was my Jet Black Archival ink. And then from there, it was just a matter of adding my focal point to the middle of the card and then adhering it onto some white cardstock. I did also add a sentiment to the inside of my card from an Altenew stamp set called Painted Inspirations. And the sentiment that I ended up adding stated, "Don't quit your daydream." All right, so as always, I will leave a list of all the products that I've used to create the card along with the links to the stores. If you've enjoyed the video, I would sure appreciate a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out. I am going to be celebrating a birthday next week, and I thought I would do a fun giveaway. So you'll want to make sure that you are subscribed and you don't miss out on the video. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you've enjoyed the card. Let me know what you think about my idea for adding the foil inside of the stamped light bulb. All right, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you again next time.